Margaret had always lived independently. At 78, she still enjoyed her garden, her crossword puzzles, and her morning tea on the porch. But one rainy afternoon, everything changed. She slipped in the bathroom, no warning, no time to brace herself. The fall fractured her hip. In a matter of seconds, her life was no longer her own. Margaret's story isn't unique. In fact, it's frighteningly common. Every year, over 14 million older adults in the U.S. report a fall. That's about 1 in 4 adults aged 65 and older. What's more alarming, less than half of them ever tell their doctor. And while some falls may result in nothing more than a bruise or a moment of embarrassment, others can lead to life-altering consequences: broken bones, head trauma, permanent disability, and even death. In 2021 alone, more than 38,000 older adults in the United States died due to fall-related injuries. That makes falls the leading cause of injury-related death for people 65 and older. But the danger goes beyond the physical. A fall can take away independence. It can trigger a cycle of fear where older adults, once active and confident, begin to avoid movement altogether. They stop going on walks. They hesitate on stairs. They say no to social gatherings. The body weakens, the mind withdraws, and life becomes smaller. Falls don't just happen out of nowhere. They are often the result of multiple small risks that build over time: muscle weakness, balance problems, unsafe home environments, medications with side effects, poor vision, and more. And here's the good news: most falls are preventable. There are simple, evidence-based steps that older adults, caregivers, and families can take today to dramatically reduce the risk of falling. In this video, we're going to walk through them together. You'll learn why falls happen more often as we age, the hidden dangers inside your home and how to fix them, what exercises and therapies improve balance and mobility, how to adapt your surroundings for safety and peace of mind, what to do if a fall does happen, and how to recover emotionally and physically. Whether you're an older adult yourself, a caregiver, or a family member concerned for a loved one, this information could be life-changing or even life-saving. Falls are not an inevitable part of aging. They are a challenge, but one that we can prepare for, respond to, and overcome with knowledge, planning, and compassion. Let's begin. When an older adult falls, the damage goes far beyond what we see on the surface. It might begin with something simple: a slip on a bathroom floor, a stumble in the garden, a missed step going down the stairs. But for someone over 65, that moment of imbalance can set off a cascade of consequences that are physical, emotional, social, and sometimes irreversible. Across the United States, more than 14 million older adults report falling each year. That's 1 in 4 seniors. But the real number may be even higher, because so many of these incidents go unreported. It's easy to see why no one wants to admit they're becoming less steady. No one wants to feel like a burden, and no one wants to face what a single fall can actually mean. Emergency rooms see nearly 3 million fall-related visits from older adults every year, and over 1 million of those lead to hospitalizations. In 2021 alone, falls claimed the lives of more than 38,000 seniors in the United States. That's not a rare tragedy. That's a public health crisis. But the danger isn't just death or trauma. The real weight of a fall often lies in what comes after: the quiet erosion of independence. Imagine a woman named Evelyn. She's 83, lives alone, and takes great pride in staying active. One afternoon, while reaching for a teacup in the kitchen, she loses her balance. She falls hard, her wrist breaks, and she's badly bruised. After a short hospital stay and weeks in a rehab center, Evelyn is sent home, but she's not the same. She stops cooking, stops walking in the garden, stops hosting her grandchildren. She's afraid of falling again. That fear becomes its own kind of injury. This is far more common than most people realize. After a fall, many older adults develop a deep, paralyzing fear of falling again. That fear leads them to limit movement. They avoid stairs, skip their walks, sit more, move less. And the result? Weakened muscles, stiffer joints, poorer balance, and ironically, a higher risk of falling again. It's a vicious cycle. One fall becomes the reason for the next. The physical injuries are devastating enough. Hip fractures are among the most common outcomes of senior falls, and they're among the most serious. After breaking a hip, 1 in 5 older adults dies within a year, often due to complications like blood clots, infections, or loss of mobility. Many never regain their independence. Some never walk unaided again. Some never return home. Head trauma is another major risk, especially for those on blood thinners. Even a minor fall can cause a brain bleed, leading to lasting cognitive or neurological damage. But even when the body heals, the emotional wounds remain. The feeling of being vulnerable, the fear of losing control, the sense that the body is no longer trustworthy. Depression, anxiety, social withdrawal all are common after a fall. Some older adults stop speaking up, stop participating, stop engaging with the world. It's a slow fade, one that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. And then there's the impact on families. A single fall can turn a son into a full-time caregiver, a daughter into a medical coordinator. Schedules shift, incomes drop, emotional strain builds, family dynamics change, homes get rearranged, medical costs skyrocket. The economic impact of falls among older adults in the U.S. is estimated at over $50 billion per year, a staggering burden on both personal finances and public healthcare systems. But here's what matters most. None of this is inevitable. Falls aren't random acts of fate. They are often predictable, and more importantly, they are preventable. With the right awareness, with the right support, with the right changes made at home and in daily habits, most falls can be avoided entirely. That's not wishful thinking, it's fact. Backed by decades of research, proven programs, and success stories from seniors who've taken back control of their safety. We don't have to accept falls as part of aging. We don't have to surrender to fragility or fear. What we need is knowledge and a plan. So let's keep going, because next, we'll ask the question that matters most. Why do seniors fall in the first place? One of the most important questions we need to ask is, why do older adults fall more often? It's not just about bad luck, or carelessness, or getting older in itself. Falls in later life usually result from a complex interaction of physical, medical, and environmental factors, many of which go unnoticed until it's too late. As we age, the human body goes through natural changes. Our muscles lose strength, especially in the legs and core. Reflexes slow down. Balance becomes more fragile. Even small shifts in posture can feel disorienting. What used to be a simple motion, getting out of bed, standing from a chair, Reaching up to a shelf can suddenly feel unsteady. Vision also changes. Cataracts, glaucoma, and macular degeneration are common among older adults, making it harder to detect uneven surfaces, steps, or obstacles. Peripheral vision narrows. Night vision fades. And with poor lighting, the risk multiplies. Hearing loss is another silent contributor. It doesn't just affect conversation, it affects spatial awareness and balance. The inner ear plays a crucial role in orientation and stability. When that system is impaired, the brain receives less accurate signals about body position, and that increases the chance of a fall. Medical conditions compound the risk. Chronic illnesses such as arthritis, Parkinson's disease, stroke, and especially diabetes can all impair mobility and nerve function. People living with dementia or Alzheimer's disease are especially vulnerable not only because of physical changes, but because of confusion and difficulty judging distances or recognizing hazards. Then there's the role of medications. Many older adults take multiple prescriptions, sometimes 5, 10, or even more at once. This is known as polypharmacy, and it's a significant risk factor for falls. Certain medications, especially sedatives, anti-anxiety drugs, sleep aids, antidepressants, and blood pressure medications can cause dizziness, drowsiness, or a sudden drop in blood pressure when standing up. Even over-the-counter drugs, such as antihistamines, can have unexpected side effects in older bodies. But perhaps what makes the risk so insidious is that these changes often happen gradually. A little stiffness here, a bit of dizziness there, nothing dramatic, nothing that feels alarming, until one day, something gives and a fall happens. Let's not forget footwear either. Shoes that are too loose, too tight, too slippery, or simply not designed for balance can turn a stable step into a dangerous one. Many falls occur while wearing socks or slippers on hardwood or tile floors. And for those with foot pain, bunions, or neuropathy, each step becomes less secure. Even the body's response to posture changes becomes slower. Something as simple as getting out of bed quickly can cause orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure leading to lightheadedness or fainting. It often goes undiagnosed, yet it plays a key role in early morning falls. And while we talk about the physical, we cannot ignore the emotional side. Depression and anxiety, common in older adults, are also linked to lower physical activity, poor sleep, and medication use, all of which increase fall risk. A person who is sad or worried may not move with full awareness or may rush through daily tasks just to get them over with. All of this creates what experts call a perfect storm, a collection of small, manageable issues that, when combined, greatly increase the odds of a fall. The good news is this: once we recognize these factors, we can begin to address them. Most of these risks can be reduced or even eliminated with the right care, habits, and environment. In the next section, we'll take a close look at the place where most falls happen, the home, and more importantly, we'll show how to make that home safer. If you ask most older adults where they feel safest, many will say, at home. The familiar walls, the comforting routines, the quiet of their own space. But here's the uncomfortable truth: most serious falls among seniors happen inside the home. It's not the icy sidewalk or the slippery grocery store floor that gets them, it's the hallway rug, the dimly lit staircase, the cluttered kitchen. These risks hide in plain sight. And because they feel so familiar, we rarely think of them as dangerous. Let's walk through the average home, one room at a time, and take a closer look at the hidden hazards that put older adults at risk. We begin in the bathroom, one of the most dangerous rooms in any house. The combination of hard surfaces, water, and tight spaces creates the perfect conditions for a fall. A damp floor, a slippery shower tile, or the absence of grab bars can all turn a daily routine into a medical emergency. For someone with balance issues, even just stepping into or out of the bathtub can feel like crossing a high ledge. Now let's move to the bedroom. It might seem harmless, but many falls happen here, especially when getting out of bed in the middle of the night. Poor lighting, cluttered floors, low furniture, and loose rugs create real threats. Many older adults fall while trying to reach for a cane, glasses, or medications without turning on the light, leading to confusion, imbalance, and accidents. In the living room, decorative elements that were once comforting can now become traps. Area rugs that curl at the edges, coffee tables with sharp corners, low footstools, extension cords running across walkways. Even pets that dart between feet can become an unexpected hazard. The kitchen, too, presents unique dangers. Wet or greasy floors, especially near the sink or stove, are classic slipping zones. High cabinets may tempt older adults to stretch or climb, something they should never do without proper support. Reaching for heavy cookware from overhead shelves can lead to sudden imbalance, and bending down to access lower cabinets often involves unsupported motion, which increases risk. Then there are the stairs, perhaps the most obvious danger zone. Whether it's a full flight to another floor or just 2 steps down to a sunken room, stairs require strong legs, coordination, and confidence. But many staircases are poorly lit, have only one handrail, or feature carpeting that can bunch or shift. In homes where vision is declining or depth perception is off, a misstep can easily become a fall. And don't forget the entranceways and hallways. These areas are often overlooked during safety checks, yet they may have uneven flooring transitions, cluttered corners, or threshold steps that are hard to spot. If shoes are removed here, socks on smooth tile or hardwood can create a perfect storm for slipping. Even outside the home, there are dangers close to the door. Cracked walkways, unstable steps, loose gravel, poor lighting. These are all common on porches, driveways, or garden paths. And because many seniors enjoy gardening or picking up the mail, these small outings can become surprisingly risky without support or proper footwear. What's perhaps most alarming is how few of these hazards require major renovations to fix. Simple changes like removing a rug, adding a motion sensor light, or installing a second handrail can dramatically reduce risk. But awareness comes first. The National Institute on Aging and the National Council on Aging recommend that older adults and their families do a room-by-room safety audit at least once a year. This can be done with a healthcare provider, a physical therapist, or even independently using checklists available from trusted organizations. These guides help identify hidden risks and offer easy, affordable solutions. For example, installing grab bars in the bathroom is not about making the space look clinical, it's about giving someone the confidence to move freely and safely. Swapping a soft, sagging couch for a firmer seat with armrests isn't about design, it's about making it easier to stand up without falling backward. Every home tells a story, and for older adults, that story should include safety, confidence, and the freedom to move without fear. In the next part of this video, we'll talk about the movements that keep people safer, the exercises and therapies that protect balance, build strength, and prevent falls before they happen. What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools to prevent falls doesn't come from a bottle, a hospital, or a device, but from movement? Not extreme workouts, not complicated routines, but simple, consistent, intentional movement designed specifically for older adults. As we age, it's completely normal to experience a decline in muscle strength, balance, and coordination. These changes don't mean weakness, they mean adaptation is needed. And the best way to adapt is through targeted physical activity. Research shows that regular exercise is one of the most effective ways to reduce the risk of falling, not just by strengthening the body, but by rebuilding confidence, improving reaction time, and enhancing awareness of how we move through space. Let's begin with balance training, perhaps the most crucial element. When we're young, balance is automatic, but with age, the systems that control it, vision, inner ear, muscle response, become less reliable. Exercises that challenge balance gently and safely can help retrain the body to stabilize itself. These might include standing on one leg near a chair, heel to toe walking along a hallway, or shifting weight slowly from side to side. Tai Chi, often called meditation in motion, is one of the most evidence-supported practices for older adults. Its slow, deliberate movements improve balance, strength, flexibility, and mental focus, all without impact or strain. In fact, both the CDC and the National Council on Aging list Tai Chi as a proven fall prevention method. And best of all, it can be done indoors, in small spaces, even in groups or alone. Next comes muscle strengthening, particularly for the lower body. Strong legs are essential for walking safely, climbing stairs, and standing from a seated position. Simple bodyweight exercises like chair squats, step-ups, or light resistance training with bands can dramatically improve strength even when done just 2 or 3 times per week. And let's not forget mobility and flexibility. Stiff joints or limited range of motion can make everyday tasks dangerous. Gentle stretches for the hips, knees, shoulders, and ankles can prevent strain and allow smoother, more controlled movements. Another often overlooked area is the core, the abdominal and back muscles that support posture and coordination. Weak core muscles increase the risk of sudden imbalance. Gentle seated twists, side bends, and deep breathing exercises help build core stability safely. Now, you might be thinking, what if someone already has poor balance or limited mobility? Isn't exercise risky? The answer is, only when it's not adapted. With professional guidance, even those recovering from a fall or living with chronic conditions can benefit. Physical therapists, for instance, are trained to assess a person's risk of falling and create safe, personalized programs to build strength and improve confidence. Occupational therapists can help by integrating movement with daily activities like standing up from a toilet, reaching a cupboard, or walking in unfamiliar spaces. Some older adults prefer group classes not just for the exercise, but for the sense of connection. Many senior centers and community organizations offer balance and strength programs tailored to different ability levels. One highly respected option is a Matter of Balance, an evidence-based program supported by the INCOA. It combines movement with education to help seniors reduce their fear of falling and take control of their safety. It's important to note, Exercise doesn't have to be formal to be effective. Gardening, walking the dog, gentle dancing in the living room, standing on tiptoes while brushing teeth, these all count as movement that supports fall prevention. What matters most is consistency and the intention to maintain the body's ability to move, react, and stay upright. But perhaps the greatest benefit of regular exercise is not just physical, it's emotional. Movement rebuilds confidence. Each step taken, each muscle strengthened, each balance regained sends a message to the brain: you are still strong. You are still capable. You can trust your body again. In the next part of this video, we'll look at how to make the home environment support all this work, from lighting to furniture to smart assistive technologies, because even a strong body needs a safe place to move. So far, we've talked about the body, how to move it, strengthen it, and protect it from falls. But even the strongest body can be vulnerable if the environment around it isn't safe. For most older adults, the home is not just a place to live. It's a symbol of independence, a space filled with memories, routines, and comfort. But it's also a space that wasn't necessarily built with aging in mind. That's why small, thoughtful adaptations to the home environment can make the difference between confidence and fear, between safety and serious injury. Let's begin with lighting. As we age, our eyes need more light to see clearly. What feels well lit to a 40-year-old may be dim and dangerous to someone in their 70s. One of the simplest, most powerful changes any older adult can make is to increase lighting, especially in hallways, staircases, bathrooms, and entryways. Motion sensor lights are a great tool, particularly for nighttime trips to the bathroom. They turn on automatically, reducing the need to fumble for switches in the dark. Grab bars are another critical feature. Installed in the shower, beside the toilet, or near steps, these sturdy supports offer a sense of security during moments of instability. Many older adults worry that adding grab bars will make their home look like a hospital. But today, these devices are available in sleek, stylish designs that blend seamlessly with any decor, and more importantly, they save lives. In the kitchen, modifications might include placing commonly used items within easy reach, no need to stretch or climb to access them, using non-slip mats near the sink or stove, and making sure the flooring is even and clear of clutter can prevent many everyday hazards. Furniture layout is another key consideration. Wide, clear pathways allow for walkers or canes to pass safely. Removing low furniture, like ottomans or footstools, reduces the chance of tripping. Chairs with armrests and firm cushions make it easier to sit down and stand up, critical movements for mobility. Now let's talk about technology. In recent years, assistive technology has transformed how we support aging at home. Personal emergency response systems, those wearable devices with fall detection and emergency call buttons, can be life-saving for someone who lives alone. Some of the newer models are discreet, waterproof, and can even detect a fall automatically without requiring a button press. Smart home tools are also becoming increasingly senior-friendly. Voice-activated assistants can turn lights on and off, adjust the thermostat, or call a contact, all without moving. Door sensors, video doorbells, and automated lighting systems create a safer, more responsive home. For those with cognitive impairments, such as early-stage dementia, there are technologies that help with orientation clocks that show the day, date, and time clearly, reminders for medications, and even GPS-enabled devices to prevent wandering. But not every solution needs to be high-tech. Something as simple as changing the type of shoes worn indoors can prevent a fall. Older adults should avoid walking in socks or slippers with smooth soles. Supportive, non-slip footwear even indoors can make each step more secure. And it's not just about the senior adjusting to the environment, it's about the environment adjusting to the senior. That means looking at the house through a new lens. What worked 10 years ago might not work now. The rug that once added warmth to the hallway might now be a slipping hazard. The decorative step down into the living room might now be a serious obstacle. Making changes doesn't mean giving up your style or independence, it means protecting it. Family members and caregivers can play a vital role here, walking through the home with fresh eyes, asking questions like, is this path wide enough? Can we add more light here? Is there a stable place to hold on when getting in and out of bed? Organizations like the National Institute on Aging and the National Council on Aging offer excellent room-by-room safety checklists. Many of these changes are inexpensive. Some are even free, but their impact can be profound. Because in the end, a safe home is a place where confidence can grow, where daily tasks don't feel dangerous, where an older adult doesn't have to choose between independence and safety. In our next and final section, we'll talk about something just as important: what to do if a fall does happen and how to recover physically and emotionally without losing hope. Even when we prepare, adapt our homes, stay active, and remain careful, sometimes a fall still happens. And when it does, everything can change in a moment. But what matters most isn't just what caused the fall, it's what happens next. In that first moment, lying on the floor, confusion and fear often take over. Am I hurt? Can I move? Should I call someone? The most important thing is not to panic. If you've fallen and you're alone, take a few deep breaths. Stay still for a few seconds. Let your body settle before trying to move. If you believe you're seriously injured, if there's sharp pain in your hip, back, or head, or if you feel disoriented, do not try to get up. Call for help. Use your medical alert device if you have one. If you can, crawl slowly to a phone or loud area where someone might hear you. But if you're not seriously injured and you feel strong enough, there are safe ways to get up. One method taught by physical therapists is called the roll, crawl, rise method. First, roll onto your side. Then, use your arms to push yourself onto your hands and knees. Crawl slowly toward a sturdy piece of furniture, like a chair or couch. Use it to support your weight as you slowly stand up, one leg at a time. Sit down and rest before moving again. After a fall, whether you're injured or not, it's critical to tell someone: a doctor, a family member, a caregiver. Many older adults keep quiet out of embarrassment or fear of losing independence. But that silence is dangerous. Every fall should be seen as a message from the body or the environment. Something went wrong. Something needs attention. Maybe it was a new medication that made you dizzy. Maybe it was a rug that slipped. Maybe your vision changed. Whatever the cause, the fall is not a failure, it's a signal, and one that can guide smarter choices going forward. After a fall, your healthcare provider should perform a full review. That includes checking for injuries that aren't immediately obvious, reviewing medications and their side effects, testing balance, gait, and strength, referring you to physical or occupational therapy if needed. Emotional recovery is just as important. After a fall, it's common to feel anxious, even depressed. You might start avoiding stairs, long walks, or being alone in your own home. But the truth is, movement is the way back. With support and encouragement, rebuilding confidence through small, guided steps is absolutely possible. Support groups, counseling, and working with a compassionate physical therapist can help reverse the fear and restore independence. The goal isn't to eliminate all risk, it's to make your world feel safe again. And for caregivers or loved ones, this is the moment to step in with support, not judgment. Ask what happened, listen without blame, and offer to walk through possible changes, be it in the home, with health routines, or emotional support. Remember, a fall may interrupt your plans, but it doesn't have to define your future. With the right response, the right people around you, and the right mindset, recovery is not only possible, it can be empowering. Because every time you choose to rise physically or emotionally, you reclaim your independence. In our final closing segment, we'll bring everything together and leave you with a message of hope, strength, and action. You've made it through this entire journey with us, room by room, movement by movement, step by step. And if there's one message we hope stays with you, it's this: a fall does not define you. It doesn't define your health, your worth, your independence, or your future. Aging is not about loss. It's about change. And change, when met with knowledge and compassion, becomes opportunity. An opportunity to make your home safer. An opportunity to make your body stronger. An opportunity to ask for help and to offer it to others. An opportunity to live with intention, not fear. Every single change you make, no matter how small, adds up. A grab bar here, a short walk each morning, a stronger core, a brighter hallway. These are not just safety measures. They are acts of self-respect, of courage, of choosing to protect your future. Maybe you've already had a fall, or maybe you're afraid you might. That fear is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. There are tools, there are strategies, there is support, and there is hope. If you're a caregiver, a family member, or a friend, thank you. The work you do, often invisible, is life-changing. You are not alone, and your support matters more than words can say. If you're an older adult watching this, know this: you are still capable, still strong, still worthy of a life without fear of falling. Not because falls don't happen, but because together, we now know how to face them head on. So let today be the day something changes. Take a walk, call your doctor, remove that loose rug, sign up for that exercise class. Have the conversation with your family, not out of fear but out of hope. Because when we move through life with awareness, with preparation, and with compassion for ourselves and for each other, we don't just prevent falls. We build a world where aging is safe, strong, and full of dignity. And that world, it begins right now, with you.